Imagine a mark, etched into the skin, passed down through millennia. Today, tattoos are a vibrant canvas of self-expression, art, and memory. But what if the very origins of this ancient practice were steeped in something far darker, something more disturbing than any intricate design could ever reveal? What if the ink that now tells your story once told a tale of pain, ownership, or even a desperate plea for survival? For centuries, we believed tattoos were a relatively modern phenomenon, or at least, a practice confined to specific, exotic cultures. Then, in 1991, high in the Ötztal Alps, a frozen discovery reshaped everything: Ötzi the Iceman. His remarkably preserved 5,300-year-old body bore 61 distinct tattoos. But these weren't elaborate tribal motifs or declarations of love. They were simple, geometric lines and crosses, strategically placed on his lower back, knees, and ankles, areas often associated with pain and degenerative diseases. Scientific analysis suggests Ötzi's tattoos weren't decorative at all, but therapeutic, akin to ancient acupuncture. A desperate attempt to alleviate suffering, etched into his flesh with soot and bone needles. This initial revelation, while fascinating, hints at a utility far removed from modern aesthetics, hinting at a darker necessity. From Ötzi, we journey further back through time and across continents, finding echoes of tattooing's unsettling past. Ancient Egyptians, often credited with some of the earliest intricate tattoo art, used it differently. Mummified remains of priestesses show geometric patterns around the abdomen and thighs, believed to be protective amulets for fertility and childbirth. Yet, there's also evidence suggesting tattoos marked slaves or prostitutes, identifying their status, branding them for all to see. In Siberia, the Pazyryk culture, over 2,500 years ago, tattooed powerful tribal chiefs with elaborate mythical beasts. These were marks of status, yes, but also a permanent record of their journey into the afterlife, sometimes applied after death, or in rituals that tested endurance and pain, a brutal transformation of the body. But the truly disturbing chapter of tattoo history often gets overlooked. For many ancient societies, tattoos were not a choice, but a sentence. The Roman Empire, for instance, extensively used tattoos to brand soldiers, ensuring their loyalty, but more chillingly, to mark criminals and slaves. These stigmata were indelible signs of shame and ownership. A runaway slave, if recaptured, would often have the name of their owner or a mark of their crime permanently inked onto their forehead or hands, ensuring they could never fully escape their past. In ancient China, criminals were often tattooed on the face as a permanent punishment, a social death sentence that preceded physical execution. Imagine waking up each day with the indelible mark of your transgression staring back at you from every reflection, a constant reminder, a public declaration of your downfall. As Christianity spread, particularly in Europe, tattoos largely disappeared, seen as pagan and barbaric practices. Yet, they persisted in clandestine forms, sometimes as secret religious symbols among persecuted groups. It wasn't until the age of exploration that tattooing resurfaced in the Western consciousness, thanks to voyagers like Captain James Cook. When he and his crew encountered the intricately tattooed peoples of the South Pacific, particularly the Maori, they were captivated. Cook's naturalists, like Joseph Banks, even brought tattooed Polynesians back to England, showcasing them as exotic wonders. But in this rediscovery, much of the original, complex meaning was lost. The sacred, the ritualistic, the painful coming-of-age ceremonies, the deep spiritual connections, all were largely ignored, replaced by a superficial fascination with the aesthetic. Sailors, often rough and superstitious, adopted the practice, marking themselves with symbols of luck, loyalty, and remembrance. What's truly unsettling is how easily we've romanticized this history. We look at ancient tattoos and marvel at the artistry, often overlooking the profound, sometimes brutal, circumstances of their creation. The instruments were crude: bone, wood, thorns, sharpened shells, often tapping soot or plant dyes directly into the skin. The pain was immense, the risk of infection high, and the process lengthy. For many, a tattoo was not a decorative choice, but a necessary evil, a public record, a medical intervention, or a permanent brand of status, whether chosen or forced. The mark on Ötzi was a medical chart. The marks on Roman slaves were legal documents of ownership. The marks on Maori warriors were a living history and spiritual shield. So, the next time you see a tattoo, or consider getting one yourself, remember its silent, often disturbing origins. Beyond the modern canvas of self-expression lies a deep, dark history where ink wasn't just art, but a scar, a cure, a punishment, or a brand. It reminds us that even the most commonplace aspects of our culture often have roots tangled in struggle, survival, and the harsh realities of ancient life. The story etched into our skin is far older, and far more complex, than we often imagine. If you've been intrigued by the hidden layers of history revealed today, make sure you don't miss another journey into the past. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for FactsBez 17, where we unravel a new dark secret every single day.